So it's been a little bit since we talked about Yasha Haddad, the general manager, CEO, president, etc. of Nintendo of Russia. For those that forgot, you can check out the icon link at the top. It'll talk about what happened with him and the way he was treating his employees, and there's some footage that's a little disturbing if you speak Russian, but it wasn't a good look, and there's a lot of confusion out there about whether this is just being allowed because it's Russia. Is the guy in Putin's back pocket? Would Nintendo even do anything about this person who has been in charge there for quite some time? And there has been numerous employee or former employee complaints about him, including sexual harassment. And in addition to that, fans have been trying to get Nintendo of Europe's attention from Russia for a long time and haven't done so successfully until footage of him, let's just say, being uncouth to employees that Nintendo was paying at an event through a live stream surfaced a little over a month ago. Well, Nintendo of Europe is indeed launching an internal investigation. And there's even some more details past that. So first off, here's what we know directly from Nintendo on the matter. We are aware of a video uploaded to YouTube recently in which Nintendo Russia's general manager, Yasha Haddad, is seen losing his temper during an altercation with an external vendor in charge of a Mario Kart livestream. Mr. Haddad's conduct and choice of words are most certainly not in line with our company values. We are also aware of further allegations that have appeared in the wake of this video and are now running a thorough investigation. We take these matters extremely seriously and will not comment further while we are running our investigation. And this has led to basically the guy's not allowed to attend Level Up Days, which is an event they do every single year in Russia, bringing fans together, all this stuff. They've been doing these Level Up Days every single year for a while now. Level Up Days begins on December 1st. So, yeah, they call it Level Up Days 2019 because it's to get you excited for 2019 is the idea. Right now, there isn't actually any word on if if he's suspended or terminated at this point. This announcement does come from Nintendo of Russia themselves. It's basically saying, "Hey, look, this year he will not be attending." I'm very conflicted in all of this, and I guess the conflicted thing is that this is so much deeper than just treatment of an external vendor, right? Like, this isn't just about how he swore at them, threatened them, reminded them that he's the boss and that he signs the paychecks and blah, 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 swearing on live streams. And he was treating numerous employees terrible. The only ones he seemed to be kind of nice to were the hosts, and even then, he ignored them a lot of the time, and it was not good. But I mean, some of the claims against him are pretty bad. The claims of discrimination based on gender, which maybe that shouldn't be so surprising in Russia, but again, it's not something that falls in line with Nintendo's core values. Sexual harassment out the wazoo. There's numerous sexual harassment cases. It doesn't seem to be where he, went so far as to not hire someone over it, but in terms of treatment of female employees, it was very much uncouth of what Nintendo would allow. So I guess my conflict is knowing all this and having all these allegations out there and having this, investigation that's been going on for over a week. It's a little baffling that we haven't seen an announcement of his resignation or that he has been let go due to conduct unbefit of Nintendo's core values. As Nintendo does, from what they saw in just that video alone, they're openly admitting that his conduct and choice of words are not in line with their company's values. And I mentioned this briefly in the comment section, I think, in the last video, where some people were kind of confused on how this could be a fireable thing. And reality is, it doesn't matter if it's illegal to treat the employees the way that he's treating them in the countries he's in, because these companies, especially these global companies, basically have a broad set of conduct standards that they uphold across the board, whether it's Nintendo of Japan, whether it's Nintendo of America, whether it's Nintendo of Europe, Russia, UK, Australia, whether we're talking, down in South America, Africa, it doesn't matter where we're talking about it. They have a code of conduct that applies across the board. And when you essentially violate that code of conduct, that is grounds to be fired in most situations, especially once it becomes public knowledge and you can't just sweep it under the rug. And obviously his behavior has now become public knowledge. Not only do we have the video, we have all the allegations. And obviously the allegations, I don't know if there's any legal repercussions, but Nintendo is probably trying to get all the information and all the details from multiple angles, plus asking Yasha Hadaj questions directly about it and trying to reaffirm from multiple sources, not just having an individual assert something. Was there a witness to it? All this stuff. And obviously, we don't know if we've heard the worst. We might not have even heard the worst of what was happening inside Nintendo of Russia. And I guess, as I said, the conflict is why he hasn't been let go already. I'm going to, give Nintendo of Europe a little bit benefit of a doubt because this isn't, a usual thing. I can't remember the last time a major person in charge of a branch of Nintendo has had to be internally investigated by Nintendo, at least not that we're publicly aware. There has been resignations, there has been stepping downs, there's been promotions, but as far as we're aware, no one has actually been fired due to treatment of employees, essentially. This has never happened in the history of Nintendo. So this is a first for Nintendo. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they need to take their time and make sure they gather all their facts. What I do expect is by January 1st, 2019, I don't think Yasha Hadaj is going to still be there, because if he is, eventually criticism is going to come back on Nintendo themselves for not doing anything about it or being afraid to do something about it just because of the country that it's in. So I hopefully we'll find out that this is no longer the case, because how he was treating his employees, how he was treating vendors that they hire is just unacceptable. And this isn't me trying to push like some American moral values as some people think, sitting on your high horse acting like you know better. No, I just have seen and read Nintendo's code of conduct, and what he did literally goes against Nintendo's code of conduct, and I don't think it is much for me to ask for Nintendo of Europe to uphold their own code of conduct regardless of what country it's in, because this is Nintendo's code of conduct. This isn't my moral high ground. This is Nintendo's moral high ground. So if they don't uphold their code of conduct, you know what that means? That code of conduct might as well be ripped up and thrown in the trash. Because if they won't uphold it in Russia, what's the point of upholding it anywhere? Can you imagine if it came out that Reggie Fils-Aimé was treating employees like this behind the scenes? If he was sexually harassing, if he was abusing them verbally, can you imagine if that came out? Now, granted, this is America, American values, but imagine that they made an exception because Reggie's popular and they don't want to get rid of him. It just would not be acceptable. So I'm hoping that Nintendo holds up to their own code of conduct standards and does something with them. I'm sure the easiest thing for them to do is to ask him to resign and just hope he agrees. Based on the seeming dictatorship-like way he was running Nintendo of Russia, not so sure he's so readily wanting to resign. And if he knows he has any sort of power with the government, he very much could try to hold out. But the fact that he's just not going to appear at Level Up Days lets you know that he's obviously in some sort of serious trouble if he's not allowed to make public appearances. After all, this is the face of Nintendo of Russia. So if he can't be out in public, clearly Nintendo is doing what they can to deal with everything. So again, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. I'll have some links to both the internal investigation announcement and then also the fact that he won't be at Level Up Days. I'm going to link actually to Gamnesia for the not attending the Level Up Days, and then I'll link to the original announcement from Nintendo Life on him on him being investigated, because I think it's important to understand where this information is coming from. All of it seems to actually be coming out of Russia through Nintendo of Russia announcements, but we're dealing with translations and all that stuff, and some things might get lost, like that exact message from Nintendo. Maybe there's a couple words that are off, but yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad that this is still a thing that we're talking about, and it's going to be a thing we talk about until he's let go or resigns. And when he lets go and resigns, and they either appoint someone new or decide to not have a head of them and just let it be run by Nintendo of Europe, that'll probably be the last time we talk about this story. I hope. I hope that nothing else happens. I hope that Yasha doesn't move on and do something terrible somewhere else, and then we might have to talk about how like he went from Nintendo to doing this other terrible thing. I really hope that we're almost done with this story. The next update will be, hey, he's just no longer with the company for whatever reason, however they decide to get it done. And then we can move on and not worry about it, because I truly want Nintendo of Russia fans and Nintendo fans in general to have the best representation possible. And if that means Nintendo of Russia needs a disband and they need to keep looking to Nintendo of Europe, fine. But I just want the best possible representation for that fan base, for the employees. I always feel, if I was hiring someone on here at Nintendo Prime, that I would hope, regardless of what country you're in, that the code of standards I have, the code of ethics I maintain with myself at this channel, that I would apply to everybody else. And if someone violated that, especially this severely, there wouldn't be any slaps on the wrist. I would just have to dismiss them. So I'm really hoping that I don't ever have to worry about a situation like this, that I wouldn't be fooled by someone enough to hire someone who might be, I guess, this power hungry, or yeah, I guess power hungry is the way to do it. Abuse of power, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, if you want to enter a giveaway, this is on a bit of a lighter note, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch Super Smash Bros. Ultimate bundle through the gleam.io link down in the description. Go ahead and enter. It's absolutely free. Only thing you have to do is be subscribed to the channel. Like this video if you would so please. It actually spreads it out to more of our subscribers, the more people that like it and comment on it. So that's always good to actually have more of our subscribers see our content. And you know what? I'm Nathaniel Rovajans from Nintendo Prime, and I will just catch all of you guys in the next one.